Meet Jessica, a hardworking single mother in her early 40s who, like many, struggled with financial chaos. Despite working 2 jobs, Jessica found herself barely making ends meet. Credit card bills piled up, savings were nearly non-existent, and each month ended in a cycle of anxiety and regret. She had dreams of owning her own home, providing her children with a stable future, and finally breaking free from the constant stress of money problems. Yet the weight of debt and overspending held her captive. One evening, after receiving yet another bank statement that revealed how much she owed, Jessica sat alone in her small living room, overwhelmed by despair. In that moment, a friend reached out with a recommendation, The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Her friend described how Ramsey's no-nonsense approach to personal finance had completely transformed her life. Although skeptical at first, Jessica was desperate for change, and so she decided to give the book a try. As Jessica delved into Dave Ramsey's pages, she discovered a blueprint for financial freedom that was as practical as it was inspiring. Ramsey's message was clear. True financial health isn't achieved through wishful thinking or get-rich-quick schemes. It comes from taking control of your money with discipline, planning, and a commitment to change. What Jessica learned would soon spark a journey of transformation, a journey that would not only relieve her financial stress but also empower her to create a secure future for herself and her children. In the following chapters, we'll explore the core principles of the Total Money Makeover, following Jessica's path as she overcomes debt, restructures her spending, and gradually builds a foundation for financial freedom. This isn't just another personal finance book. It's a call to take bold, decisive action and reclaim control over your life, one step at a time. Chapter 1. The Wake-Up Call. Confronting the Debt Monster. Jessica's journey began with a stark realization. She was drowning in debt. Credit cards, loans, and bills had become a constant source of anxiety. Each month, a large chunk of her paycheck vanished into repayments, leaving her with little to cover basic necessities. The cycle of borrowing and spending had taken over her life, and she knew something had to change. Dave Ramsey's first lesson hit her hard when he explained that debt isn't just a financial burden. It's a trap that prevents you from living the life you deserve. Ramsey emphasizes, debt is dumb and debt doesn't pay. It steals your future and shackles you to a life of stress. Jessica began to document every dollar she owed and quickly realized the magnitude of her problem. The numbers were overwhelming, but they also served as a catalyst for change. Instead of ignoring her financial situation, she faced it head-on. She created a comprehensive list of her debts, from the small overdue library fines to the larger credit card balances, and started brainstorming a plan to eliminate them. Practical tips. List all debts. Write down every debt, including the amount, interest rate, and minimum monthly payment. Face the numbers. Understanding the full scope of your debt is the first step toward recovery. Acknowledge the emotional toll. Recognize that debt is not just a number. It's a source of stress that affects your overall well-being. Chapter 2. The Debt Snowball. Building momentum through small wins. One of the most powerful strategies that Ramsey introduces is the debt snowball method. Instead of trying to tackle all debts at once, Ramsey suggests paying off your smallest debts first, regardless of interest rates. This approach builds momentum and provides a psychological boost as you see progress. Jessica decided to put the debt snowball method into practice. She started by listing her debts from smallest to largest, and focused on paying off the smallest balance first, while making minimum payments on the rest. When that first debt was eliminated, she rolled its payment into the next smallest debt, creating a snowball effect. For example, Jessica's first target was a small credit card balance of $500. When that debt was paid off, she felt an immense sense of accomplishment that fueled her determination to continue. Each victory, no matter how small, reinforced her belief that she could escape the debt trap. Ramsey reminds us, the debt snowball isn't about mathematics. It's about psychology. It's about gaining momentum with small victories. Practical tips. Organize debts from smallest to largest. This helps build momentum through quick wins. Focus on one debt at a time. Allocate extra funds to the smallest debt while maintaining minimum payments on others. Celebrate each victory. Use small rewards to reinforce your progress and stay motivated. Chapter 3. Budgeting. The blueprint for financial freedom. Ramsey stresses that the cornerstone of any financial makeover is budgeting. For Jessica, creating a realistic budget was a revelation. She had always struggled with tracking her spending and often found herself overspending without even realizing it. Ramsey's approach to budgeting was straightforward. Every dollar should have a purpose. Jessica began by listing all her sources of income and then tracking every expense for a month. Everything from rent and groceries to small, impulsive purchases. The process was eye-opening. She discovered that much of her money was going to non-essential items, leaving little for savings or debt repayment. With this newfound clarity, she crafted a budget that prioritized necessities and debt repayment, while still allowing a modest amount for enjoyment. Ramsey's budgeting method, often referred to as the zero-based budget, ensured that every dollar was assigned a job, whether it was for spending, saving, or investing. A budget is not a restriction. It's a roadmap to a better future. Dave Ramsey. Practical tips. Track every expense. Use a budgeting app or a simple spreadsheet to record your income and expenses. Create a zero-based budget. Allocate every dollar to a specific category, ensuring no money is left idle. Review and adjust regularly. Revisit your budget monthly to make adjustments based on actual spending. Chapter 4. Cutting expenses. The art of living below your means. Once Jessica had a clear view of her financial situation through budgeting, the next step was to cut unnecessary expenses. Dave Ramsey emphasizes that living below your means is essential for building wealth. This doesn't mean living a life of deprivation, but rather making conscious decisions about where your money goes. Jessica scrutinized her spending habits and realized that small, recurring expenses were draining her resources. Expensive coffee, frequent dining out, and impulse online purchases were the culprits. Determined to reclaim her financial freedom, she adopted a more frugal lifestyle. She made small, sustainable changes, brewing coffee at home, meal prepping to avoid costly lunches, and setting a strict rule for impulse purchases. Ramsey explains, "It's not what you make, but what you keep that counts." By eliminating or reducing these unnecessary expenses, Jessica freed up more money to pay down her debt and save for the future. The process was challenging at first. She had to resist social pressures and adjust her lifestyle, but the financial relief and peace of mind she gained were worth every sacrifice. Practical tips. Identify non-essential spending. Review your expenses and cut out items that don't add lasting value. Adopt frugal habits. Simple changes like cooking at home and avoiding impulse buys can lead to significant savings. Reinvest savings. Direct any money saved from cutting expenses toward either debt repayment or savings. Chapter 5. Building an emergency fund. Your financial safety net. One of the key principles in the Total Money Makeover is the importance of having an emergency fund. This fund is not just a safety net, it's a cornerstone of financial stability that protects you from unexpected crises and prevents you from falling back into debt. For Jessica, the idea of an emergency fund was both reassuring and empowering. Even as she worked diligently to pay off her debts, she set aside a small portion of her income to build a fund that would cover 3 to 6 months of expenses. This fund provided her with a cushion, ensuring that any unforeseen expense wouldn't derail her progress. Ramsey emphasizes, an emergency fund is the first step in taking control of your financial future. It's your buffer against life's unexpected challenges. Practical tips. Set a small initial goal. Start by saving a modest amount, e.g., $1,000 as your initial emergency fund. Automate savings. Arrange for automatic transfers into a dedicated savings account. Replenish after use. If you ever need to dip into your emergency fund, make it a priority to rebuild it as soon as possible. Chapter 6. Debt repayment. Taking control of your financial future. With a budget in place and expenses trimmed, Jessica turned her focus to one of her greatest challenges, debt repayment. Dave Ramsey's strategy for eliminating debt, most notably through the debt snowball method, became a rallying cry for Jessica. The method's core idea is to pay off your smallest debts first to build momentum, then roll those payments into larger debts. Jessica created a detailed list of all her debts, from credit cards and student loans to personal loans. She ordered them from smallest to largest and began her journey by aggressively paying off the smallest balance. Each time she eliminated a debt, she experienced a surge of motivation, a tangible sign that she was regaining control of her finances. Ramsey's approach wasn't just about numbers. It was about reclaiming your life from the burden of debt. Jessica soon realized that every debt paid off was a victory for her, self-esteem, and her future. Debt is dumb and debt doesn't pay. The sooner you eliminate debt, the sooner you can invest in your future. Dave Ramsey. Practical tips. List all debts. Write down every debt, including interest rates and minimum payments. Apply the debt snowball. Focus on paying off the smallest debts first, then roll the payments into the next debt. Celebrate milestones. Recognize each debt you eliminate as a step toward financial freedom. Chapter 7. Investing for the future. Making your money grow. After Jessica began chipping away at her debt and building an emergency fund, the next phase of her journey was learning how to invest wisely. Ramsey stresses that building wealth isn't just about saving money, it's about making your money work for you. Jessica started educating herself about different types of investments: stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and even real estate. She learned that successful investing requires discipline, patience, and a long-term perspective. Ramsey advocates for a conservative, diversified approach that minimizes risk while steadily growing wealth over time. One of the key lessons was the power of compound interest. Jessica was amazed to see how small, regular investments could grow exponentially over the years. Even modest amounts, when invested consistently, could lead to substantial wealth as time went on. The goal is not to get rich quickly, but to build wealth steadily and securely. Dave Ramsey. Practical tips. Educate yourself. Read about different investment vehicles and strategies to find what suits your goals. Diversify your portfolio. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your investments across various asset classes. Start early and be consistent. The power of compound interest works best when you invest regularly over the long term. Consult a financial advisor. If needed, seek professional guidance to tailor an investment strategy that fits your situation. Chapter 8. The Psychology of Money, Changing Your Mindset. One of the less tangible, but most profound lessons in the Total Money Makeover is the importance of changing your mindset about money. Jessica learned that many of her financial struggles were rooted in deep-seated beliefs about money, beliefs instilled in her from a young age, that money is scarce, that wealth is unattainable, or that spending is a way to show love. Ramsey emphasizes that to achieve financial freedom, you must reframe your relationship with money. This involves challenging limiting beliefs, embracing the idea of abundance, and adopting habits that align with long-term goals rather than short-term gratification. For example, Jessica realized that she often made impulsive purchases as a way to feel better in the moment. Instead of viewing these purchases as a treat, she began to see them as setbacks that delayed her progress toward her dreams. By shifting her mindset to one of empowerment and long-term vision, she started to make choices that supported her financial goals. Your financial success is not determined by how much money you make, but by how you manage it and the beliefs you hold about it. Dave Ramsey. Practical tips. Challenge negative beliefs. Reflect on and question any negative thoughts you have about money. Adopt empowering affirmations. Use positive statements like, "I deserve financial freedom," to reprogram your mindset. Visualize your success regularly. Imagine your future without debt and with financial independence. Surround yourself with positivity. Engage with communities and mentors who inspire and educate you about smart money management. Chapter 9. Family and Financial Planning, Building a Secure Future. For many people, financial success is not just an individual journey, but a family affair. Jessica realized that part of her goal was to create a stable, secure future for her children. The Total Money Makeover stresses the importance of involving your family in financial planning, fostering an environment where money is managed responsibly and with a long-term vision. Jessica began having honest conversations with her children about money. She explained why they needed to save, budget, and invest, and she made it a point to lead by example. These discussions helped demystify money and instilled in her children the value of financial discipline. Ramsey often mentions that wealth is not just about accumulating money, but about creating a legacy of financial security and freedom for future generations. This lesson resonated deeply with Jessica as she worked to balance immediate needs with long-term goals. Practical tips. Create a family budget. Involve all family members in understanding where money comes from and how it's spent. Set financial goals together. Work on long-term goals like saving for college, buying a home, or planning a family vacation. Teach financial literacy. Educate your children about money, management from a young age. Plan for the future. Establish wills, trusts, and other estate planning tools to ensure your legacy endures. Chapter 10. Embracing sacrifice. The art of saying no. One of the harsh realities that the Total Money Makeover teaches is that achieving financial freedom often requires sacrifice. Jessica realized that in order to build wealth, she had to make tough choices. Choices that sometimes meant saying no to immediate pleasures in favor of long-term gains. Ramsey emphasizes that sacrifice is not about deprivation, but about prioritization. It means delaying gratification, resisting the urge to overspend, and putting your future first. Jessica had to learn that every dollar spent frivolously was a missed opportunity to invest in her future. For example, instead of dining out every weekend or buying the latest gadget on impulse, Jessica decided to redirect that money into savings and investments. This wasn't always easy. It meant facing social pressures and overcoming the lure of instant gratification. But as her savings grew and her debt shrank, she began to see that these sacrifices were investments in her future. To achieve your dreams, sometimes you must say no to the present so you can say yes to a better future. Dave Ramsey. Practical tips. Prioritize your spending. Identify your long-term goals and allocate money accordingly. Delay gratification. Practice the habit of waiting before making. Non-essential purchases. Set spending limits. Use budgeting tools to limit impulsive spending. Focus on future benefits. Remind yourself of the long-term rewards of sacrificing short-term pleasures. Chapter 11. The Power of Community. Building a support network. One of the most underrated aspects of building wealth is the power of community. The Total Money Makeover highlights that financial success isn't achieved in isolation. Jessica learned that surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who share your values can provide the motivation, support, and accountability needed to stay on track. Jessica sought out financial counseling and joined local support groups that focused on debt, elimination, and wealth building. In these communities, she found encouragement and practical advice from others who had successfully navigated similar challenges. Ramsey asserts, "No one builds wealth alone. It's the collective support of your community that propels you forward." Practical tips. Join financial support groups. Look for local or online communities focused on budgeting, debt repayment, and investing. Find a mentor. Seek guidance from someone who has achieved the financial freedom you aspire to. Share your goals. Discuss your financial plans with trusted friends or family to build accountability. Celebrate together. Recognize and celebrate milestones with your support network. Chapter 12. Rewriting your financial future. Creating a new narrative. The final chapter of the Total Money Makeover is perhaps the most transformative. Jessica realized that the journey to financial freedom was not just about numbers. It was about rewriting your personal narrative. It meant letting go of the past, the mistakes, and the financial struggles that once defined you, and embracing a new identity as someone in control of their money and destiny. For Jessica, this meant adopting a mindset that was both optimistic and disciplined. She began to see her financial challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. Every step she took, from paying off a small debt to increasing her savings rate, was a part of a larger story. A story of resilience, determination, and transformation. Ramsey's message was clear. You are the architect of your financial future. By taking responsibility for your money, making disciplined choices, and committing to a long-term plan, you can break free from the cycle of debt and build a legacy of wealth. The Total Money Makeover is about taking control of your money and your life. It's about rewriting your story, one disciplined choice at a time. Dave Ramsey. Practical tips. Reflect on your past. Acknowledge the financial mistakes you've made and learn from them. Write your new story. Create a vision for your financial future and outline the steps to achieve it. Celebrate transformation. Recognize that each small step is part of a larger journey toward a better life. Commit to lifelong learning. Stay informed about personal finance and continuously improve your money management skills. Chapter 13. The Emotional Journey of Financial Freedom. As Jessica progressed through her transformation, she discovered that achieving financial freedom was as much an emotional journey as it was a numerical one. The stress, anxiety, and shame of debt can weigh heavily on one's self-esteem. Yet, as she took control of her finances, she also reclaimed her confidence and self-worth. Jessica learned to view her financial struggles not as a reflection of her character, but as a challenge to overcome. With every debt paid off and every savings goal reached, she felt a surge of empowerment. The emotional relief was profound, a sense of liberation that came from knowing she was no longer defined by financial insecurity. Ramsey underscores that emotional transformation is a key component of financial success. By changing the way you think about money, you can alter your behavior and create lasting change. Jessica's journey became a testament to the fact that financial freedom is not just about wealth. It's about well-being, peace of mind, and the confidence to pursue your dreams. Practical tips. Acknowledge your emotions. Recognize the emotional toll of financial stress and seek support if needed. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Change takes time and persistence. Visualize your success regularly. Imagine the emotional and practical benefits of being financially free. Celebrate every milestone. Let each small victory reinforce your belief in your ability to succeed. Conclusion. Your journey to financial independence. Jessica's journey, as chronicled in the Total Money Makeover, is a powerful reminder that financial freedom is achievable through discipline, perseverance, and smart decision-making. Her transformation from a stressed, debt-ridden individual to a confident, empowered architect of her financial future is a testament to the enduring principles espoused by Dave Ramsey. The roadmap is clear. Face your debts head-on. Live below your means. Invest wisely. Educate yourself about money. And above all, make disciplined, consistent choices every day. Every dollar saved, every debt repaid, and every smart investment is a brick in the foundation of a secure future. As you reflect on Jessica's story, ask yourself, what steps can you take today to start building your own legacy of financial freedom? You must take control of your money, or your money will take control of you. Dave Ramsey, your journey to financial independence begins with a single, decisive choice. It starts with acknowledging your current situation and committing to a future where you are in charge, a future where financial stress is replaced by security, anxiety by confidence, and short-term gratification by long-term success. So, take a deep breath, review your finances, and decide, are you ready to transform your life, one disciplined choice at a time? The Total Money Makeover is not just a book. It's your blueprint for a brighter, more secure tomorrow. Final takeaways. 1. Face your financial reality. Confront and document your debts, expenses, and spending habits. 2. Adopt a frugal lifestyle. Live below your means and channel savings into investments. 3. Embrace the debt snowball. Use small wins to build momentum and eliminate debt systematically. 4. Budget wisely. Create a zero-based budget, where every dollar has a purpose. 5. Invest in your future. Prioritize long-term investments and harness the power of compound interest. 6. Educate yourself continually. Build financial literacy to make informed decisions. 7. Build a support network. Surround yourself with mentors, peers, and supportive communities.